Welcome back. So we're here today to look at these shoes, and these have these interesting marks on them. So we're going to try to see if we can take care of those. This is a sleeking bone, and normally what I do is I'll take some Venetian shoe cream, a very little bit, usually what's in the cap, like just a little bit on my finger, and I'll go over the shell Cordovan and try to work it out within that. You see, shell Cordovan is pre-malleable from a surface, and you can use this, and you gotta make sure it's wet enough so that it doesn't scratch the shell. So you don't want to do that. But the Venetian shoe cream is actually what Cordovan recommends that you use on their shell Cordovan. And it basically activates, in my opinion, and this is not the scientific thing, but it's kind of like it activates the oils in the leather so that you can move them around easier. So just push it around and use the sleeking bone. Now, this particular sleeking bone I used with a different kind of polish in the past, which had a little bit more texture to it. So I'm taking that polish off so that it's just nice and smooth. Just makes it a little bit easier. And then moist a little bit, and we'll see whether or not it actually takes care of this. Now, I've had pretty good luck in the past with shell Cordovan and with stains, and just being able to use this, especially like surface marks, and just be able to get it off. So the key is drying and brushing. Shell Cordovan is a brush sensitive material. The more you brush it, the better it is. And just does pretty well. And if you look at that, those marks are all but gone. I'll do this here, up here. Again, using this. Where those marks were bad, seems all better. So here we have the marks before, and afterwards they've disappeared. Cool stuff. It's another reason to like shell Cordovan. This happens too when you actually wear it and you get a nick or a scratch. It's amazing how a little bit of Venetian shoe cream, some people use Saphir Cordovan polish, you can use a lot of different ones, and it just works to be able to get the hinks out and bring you back to smooth. Now, normally for my regular care, I will use pure polish. I really like the way that pure polish sets into the shell and makes it glow, makes it work long term. But for problems like this, where there's something in the surface that I need to change. And you can see I got a little bit of wet on the brush, so I just gotta continue to work it in with the brush. I like using Saphir or Venetian shoe cream best. Now that's just me. That's what I learned with. That's how I started off working on shoes. You know, just as my own shoes. I don't work on anybody else's. But for me, those results speak for themselves with the Venetian shoe cream. So now, here, switch brushes just to make sure that it's 100% dry. And here, it is a little streaky. I'll just have to use a wet cloth after, not a wet cloth, a dry cloth after it fully dries. About 15 minutes. Okay, so now that is using a neutral Venetian shoe cream. But what if I want to use something different? Well, these are burgundy, and it just so happens that Saphir makes a Cordovan cream, which is burgundy. And so here we have, it's just the same burgundy. What we're gonna do is, I've already brushed these. I'm just gonna use the Saphir. I'm gonna push it in. This is quite a big area here that's impacted. And I'm just gonna rub it in. And then I'm gonna use this again. Okay. To just push it in a little bit more. And again, I like it to be wet. Some guys don't use the wet and they just use the nutrients in the bone. But I've watched a lot of cobblers do this on their videos, and I've talked to a number of them because we've become friends over the years, and they all say it's better to do it with a little bit of liquid on there. Yeah, see, there's like almost a scratch. So I'm just rubbing it around so that it disappears. So now we're gonna do the same thing we did with the other one, and we're just gonna brush it. And voila. Now you still have a little bit of discoloration, but it's certainly a lot better than it was. And now I can continue to work on this, or I can allow it to just develop that natural patina, which I love so well from shell Cordovan. Now I just keep brushing. Now I like to use different brushes for shell. I'll use a pig bristle brush, which is a shorter brush, to really kind of rough it up. So I like to rough it up, and then I use the horsehair to shine it up. And of course, as I said before, the pure polish products work the best for the shine, but the Saphir obviously works really well on these type of corrective things. So I'm gonna just do this again. This area here where I didn't get as consistent as a result as I would like. And now instead of using the deer bone, I'm just gonna use my hand, and I'm gonna press pretty hard into this. And now I use the dry brush. And look at that. Use this, bring it over. It's much much better. Now I'm just gonna let these things sit overnight and I can wear them tomorrow. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Personally, I'm pretty darn satisfied.